Now, this month we continue highlighting the strides women are making in the world of sports. Now, one of them is Kaitlin Hunt, a sports scientist who is also making strides in the world of coaching. She joins us now in studio. Kaitlin, a very good afternoon and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start right there. I mean, what's a sports scientist? What do you do?
It's such a broad question, but yeah, a sports scientist, it's a very general, broad, profession. There's a lot of injury prevention. There's a lot of, planning for the season. There's a lot that goes into it.
So it's generally, I mean, are you like a scientist? Like, can you
just in sports?
Can you come up with a cure for hamstring injuries?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And what does your day-to-day job entail?
Yeah, day-to-day, I mean, there's a lot to do. So basically, it goes from gym sessions to rehab sessions to checking out injuries to doing the warm-ups on the field. So there's a lot that gets packed into the day. And are you specifically focusing on football? Yes.
All right, because I know like there's sports scientists that would focus on running. They will tell you that your stride looks like this and this. So in football, what specifically do you look at? Is it just about recovery? It's about injury prevention? Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it. I think it's more than just like the rehab and recovery. There's a lot of gym sessions. There's a lot of, what are we working on the field, off the field, what the coach is looking for. There's a lot that goes into it that we can help the coaches make their job a little bit easier on the field. So I do in the gym, the conditioning is so important to me. So we really focus on, we don't want players injured, we want players in the best shape possible. So that's really where my focus is.
Now, as a woman doing this job, and we have seen a lot of what do you call improvement in terms of women involvement in football. How and why did you get into football specifically? Yeah,
that's always a tricky question, but I've grown up in football. I mean, my dad is who my dad is, and we've grown up in football. I grew up on a football pitch, so it was kind of like that was the direction I always wanted to go in. Always wanted to explore the idea of football and what it was like. I mean, I could have got into any sport, rugby, cricket, could have done any sport, but I've always loved football, always had a passion for it, and I've always been so strong about the women's game as well. So that's why I really wanted to also delve into the coaching side as well and see where that could take me as well. So yeah, football has always been my number one sport. I've always loved football.
You can blink twice if your dad, Kaitlin Hunt, I have to mention this, forced you into this.
No, definitely not. I think, as I said, we grew up with it and it was kind of like, it was always there, but there was no pressure to go into the sport. And it's just weird that I've kind of like naturally gone into it.
Yeah.
I've naturally got into football with the coaching and with the strength and conditioning. It's just weird how it worked out, but it's been such a nice journey. Sure. It's been such a beautiful story as well.
Have you ever tried to play like your dad?
No. So when I was in school, football wasn't, the women's game wasn't so established. Sure. It was kind of like, there wasn't any clubs and it was very difficult. So that's why I kind of wanted to go into coaching and go into the strength and conditioning side. So I felt like I could give back to the game in a different way because I never got to play the game. So yeah, I don't know if I got maybe robbed. Maybe I could have shown my talent a bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you are moving into coaching. You recently got your KFC license. How is that journey been into coaching, and what was that? What pushed you to go into that direction of coaching? Yeah,
I've always been passionate about although I'm gone into sports science and that I've always said you should really know a lot about your sport, whether it's whatever sport that you go into. I've always been passionate about knowing the fundamentals of the game, understanding the game. It gives you a better idea of what the coaches are thinking as well. So that's why I thought, let me go into the coaching and see where it could take me. So I started with my B license, and then obviously the opportunity came up this year to do my C license through the Hollywood Foundation, and we did it through Safa Ekurhuleni. It was so good, and there were so many female coaches as well, which was so encouraging to see. There's not many females that are involved in the game, so when the opportunity came up, I didn't think twice.
And what was that journey like? I mean, being part of that class, studying for your KFC license with other ladies there?
It definitely wasn't easy. I'm not saying that coaching is an easy journey. It was tough. There was a lot of theory. We did a lot of practical work. There was a lot of, you think you know a lot about the game, and then you go into a coaching license and you don't really know that much. So what we gained from it and what I learned was fantastic. I mean, and it was so nice to be in a room with like-minded people as well who want to see females do well in the game, and they want to see, females succeed and coach, and it was fantastic.
And I mean, how far would you like to take this coaching thing? I mean, is it, as you say, it's something that you're slowly getting into? There's a lot of talk about whether we will be at a point where we'll have ladies coaching men's teams. I mean, we're seeing one or two somewhere there. You've got like a Portia Modise who openly has said that she wants to coach a boys' team. She's not interested in coaching women's team. I mean, where do you stand in terms of that?
Yeah, I'm not against the idea of it. I've always said, you know, sometimes we put ourselves that females should coach females and males should coach males. I don't think it's that way. I think if it's males want to coach females and the other way around, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm very open to the idea of it. As I said, I've always dreamed one day to see a female coach in the PSL. I mean, that would be so exciting to see. So I'm not against the idea of females coaching males or the other way around. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
And from your perspective, in terms of just the growth that we're seeing, because we don't really have too many female coaches, even at women's level, at Hollywood level, you know, at SAFA level, we're not seeing that. How do you think that picture can be changed?
Yeah, I think SAFA is really putting a lot of emphasis on coaches' education at the moment. They're really pushing through, you know, coaches to be educated, go on your licenses, do the hours, do the practical. So I think it is moving in the right direction in terms of education. I think I've always advocated so strongly for education. It's such a powerful tool we can all use. So I think, yeah, SAFA is going in the right direction. As I say, we're not perfect and we're not where we should be, but it's certainly going in the right level for female coaches. And
I mean, with the successes of people like Desiree Ellis, it should show some spotlight onto women coaches and the success that they can. I mean, Desiree has done it all in the continent.
Like what Banyana and Desiree done is fantastic. It's just so encouraging for us females in the game to see there's people like that who have done it all and they're so successful. So it just proves that we're on the right journey and we can also do it as well.
And if you look also, I mean, just the Olympics, the women's final played last night, USA and Brazil, the level of football that was there, and also to see the women coaches that are in charge of those teams at that level, it goes to show that there's been that paradigm shift.
Yeah, last night was fantastic to see. I mean, Emma Hayes has done so good with the American team. I mean, she's made that shift from the UK to the USA.
Yeah, because she was with Chelsea and she was
exactly,
quite successful.
So, I mean, to go from the UK to the USA and to like go and win a gold medal like in your first few months there, I mean, it's fantastic. So it just proves that there are powerful women in the game that can win trophies and do well with female teams.
I think Mata needs more strong Muti from Africa because, wow, that gold medal just keeps eluding her. But back to you know the game itself here at home, and in terms of coaching. I mean, you spoke about being in a class where you see more females coming through. You know, in terms of that growth, do you find that there's more interest now with the success that we're seeing, and not only of Banyana, but also how we have a successful league like the Hollywood League, the SAFA lower leagues also? We're seeing a bit of improvement and more of our girls also playing internationally.
I think there is a bit of a shift, not just from coaching, but also from medical professionals like physios and sports scientists. And, you know, there is females who want to go into football and want to go into the men's game. And there's a lot for them to look up to as well. Before we were kind of scared to go into that world and we weren't sure if we could do it. So I think there's a lot of examples for females now, and it's so encouraging for them to look up to someone like Desiree and all these like young girls now. I mean, they have so many platforms, there's so many clubs, there's so much opportunity for girls now to play, which, I mean, I wish I had that back in the day when I could play. So yeah, I think female sport is going in the right direction.
And which team are you with now?
I'm currently at Boulderstone Sports Institute, so it's better known as BSI. So yeah, it's a sports institute where the kids are doing schooling, they're playing football. I'm doing like the conditioning and all the, you know, rehab stuff. So yeah, it's a nice joint like project that we're working on where kids can kind of be involved in football all day, every day.
And in terms of your coaching, you planning to take it a little bit further in terms of studies?
Yeah, so I always said I don't want to stop at a C license. I kind of want to go into a B and to an A. I want to see how far I can go with the coaching. Coaching was never really part of my plan. It was kind of something that I dipped my fingers into, and I was like, okay, this is a bit interesting. Maybe I can explore this idea. So I definitely don't want to stop at a C. I want to go on to a B and an A and, you know, the highest level possible.
Would you like to coach at PSL level?
I would love to. Love to.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you which team.
Yeah, don't put that pressure on me.
But would it be Kaizer Chiefs or SuperSport United? You don't have to say anything about any of those teams. But Kaitlin, as we wrap up the conversation, I mean, what message then would you give to young girls, particularly who are looking at other opportunities? Because the perception is that, you know, you can become a Banyana player, but there's no talk about what you do as a sports scientist. What you can go into coaching, you can go into officiating. There's many avenues available for young girls within the football structure.
Yeah, so I've said to so many young girls, I mean, there's so much opportunity out there. You know, sometimes we put ourselves in this little box of we can only do coaching or we can only do one profession where, I mean, there's marketing, there's officiating, there's medical, there's so many different professions you can go to within the game. So I've always encouraged young girls to grab every opportunity. You know, these opportunities come up and put yourselves in spaces that allow you to grow as well. You know, sometimes we don't want to, we're a bit shy away from it. So I've always said I put myself in situations where you're not necessarily the most comfortable. So grab every opportunity and, you know, things will fall into place for you in the right time. And
very briefly, I mean, on a lighter note, what's your father saying about this, following in his footsteps, as it were? Is he okay with it?
I'm not too sure if he's too happy about it, but he's also kind of just going with it at the moment. And I don't think he expected it. I think he was kind of not shocked, but he was like, okay, good luck, see where it takes you, you know? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see maybe sidelines one day.
You could give him some few tips. Kaitlin, thank you so much for coming through to spend time with us. Appreciate it. And the best of luck with your coaching and other stuff that you do as a sports scientist.
Thank you so much.
Kaitlin Hunt talking to us there about her journey as a sports scientist, but also moving into coaching.